Tonight on Prime Business, the Bank of Ghana justifies inflation targeting framework, rejecting calls for its abolishment despite recent criticism and May rate hitting a record high of 27.6%.
Until COVID happened, we've had inflation in single digits for over 24 months. And so inflation targeting framework has helped us to deliver low and stable inflation in Ghana.
Also, Ghana to remain the heart of Talo Oil's operations following its merger with UK rival Capricorn. We'll hear from the managing director, Wissam Al-Monthiri, who expects the combined group to deliver substantial benefits to shareholders.
Strength and balance sheet stability, and a whole list of investment.
As E-Commerce Association wants government to consider the negative effects of the 1.5% e-levy on online businesses.
We should look at the impact on online businesses. We should look at it in terms of the employment avenues that are being removed from the system.
Those are our headlines. We're back with details. Do stay with us. Now, tonight, the Bank of Ghana has justified its inflation targeting program, insisting it has no plans of abolishing it. This is coming at a time when the May inflation rate reached a record high of 27.6%. There are calls for the framework to be scrapped because it's not getting the desired results and has a negative impact on the cost of credit and the access for businesses. Dr. Maxwell Pokofare is first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana. He's been speaking to George Rafi.
We've been practicing inflation targeting since 2002. I think there is a paper that we've put together here in the bank which shows the evolution of the monetary policy regimes over time. And when you look at it, it is when the inflation targeting framework was introduced that we've been able to have low and stable inflation in Ghana and prolonged for a long period of time. Until COVID happened, we've had inflation in single digits for over 24 months. And so inflation targeting framework has helped us to deliver low and stable inflation in Ghana. Inflation targeting framework is just a framework to allow you to have a structured discussion about the different multiple causes of inflation. So it's not like a rigid system that tells you what to do. It gives you a structure around which to have a sensible discussion about the multiple causes of inflation. All the previous regimes that we had, they've all broken down. They could not deliver the low and stable inflation that we had. We've had this inflation targeting framework. It has helped us to deliver stability for a long period of time. But when you have crisis, global crisis, pandemic, Russia-Ukraine war, it questions frameworks all over the place. Doesn't mean that you should throw the framework away, but it also means that you should look at it more consistently. But that framework is a framework globally. That's what we call the forward-looking framework. Globally helping different countries to contain inflation, and that has served Ghana very well. And I think that that's a framework that we will continue to use to serve Ghana going forward. Of course, we will always look at options of reviewing and fine-tuning it, should there be evidence to continue to fine-tune it.
Finally, on the ECD, all other things being equal, when are we hoping that we will have access to it?
In fact, the pilot is ongoing, and we have different stakeholders that are participating in the pilot, including those in some rural and farming communities that are offline, looking at the offline capabilities of the ECD, and then we have banks, we have fintechs that are participating.
That was the first Deputy Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Maxwell Pokofare, interacting with George Rafi. Now to the upstream sector. Managing Director of Talo Oil Ghana, Wissam Al-Mathiri, has assured Ghana will remain at the heart of its operations in Africa following a merger with Capricorn Energy. Talo last week reached an agreement with its UK rival to merge and create a leading African energy company. Mr. Al-Mathiri expects the combined group to deliver substantial benefits for shareholders and local employees.
This transaction provides shareholders with a resultant leading African energy company with significantly increased financial strength and balance sheet stability, and a whole list of investment opportunities in Ghana, in Egypt, which is where Capricorn's production asset base is, as well as all around the continent. So it provides an attractive return over the long term in the name of a series of investment opportunities coming for the shareholder for years to come. It also provides shareholders with some central synergies. It allows rationalization in the corporate center, which then in turn allows an even greater focus and agility to get after some of these opportunities as shareholders would want to maximize their return. I mean, it provides, again, a stronger company, a longer wavelength of thinking, greater financial stability. If you're an employee in Ghana, it means directly that you're going to be a lot busier because it allows us the ability to accelerate a lot of investments. Some people like that, some people don't, but the fact is, we are going to be, accelerating some of our investments and adding new things to do in Ghana. So that provides an exciting sort of active platform to be working in. It also means, we have a more diversified portfolio. So it likely means the ability for an employee to go to different parts of the portfolio to work in more easily. There's more options. That provides development and personal growth opportunities as you look at if you're technical or non-technical, different basins you're working in, different cultures, different ways of working and thinking. So it provides that diversity for the employee to be able to see, in addition to the increased excitement and workload.
Now, banks in Ghana wrote off a little above 768 million cedis as bad debts in the first 4 months of this year. That's about a 5.5% increase over the same period last year. Well, that's according to the latest monetary policy report by the Bank of Ghana. The bad debt is made up of loan losses, depreciation, among others. Charles Nixon Yeboah's report, read to you more, explains in detail what accounted for this.
Despite the increase in the provision of the bad debt, the banking industry's asset quality improved year-on-year, evidenced by the decline in the non-performing loans ratio from 15.5% in April 2021 to 14.3% in April 2022. The decline in the non-performing loans ratio was on the back of a higher growth in the stock of loans from 7% to 25.8% during the review period. On the other hand, the stock of NPLs increased to 8.6 billion cedis in April 2022 from 7.4 billion cedis in April 2021. This represented a growth of 15.8%. The increase in the NPL stock indicates that some asset quality risks still remain within the banking sector. Meanwhile, the extension of the loan repayment moratorium by the Bank of Ghana to December 31st, 2022 is expected to provide relief to customers adversely impacted by the pandemic and help moderate the growth in non-performing loans within the banking sector.
Now, Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, has emphasized the need to have a robust payment and settlement system under the Continental Free Trade. This, he believes, will promote efficiency in regional trade as well as enhance intra-African trade and investment. Speaking at the 2022 Public Forum of the Academy of Arts and Sciences, he entreated central banks on the continent to work collectively in achieving a common goal.
Yes, Public Forum was under the theme African Continental Free Trade Area, Challenges and Prospects. According to the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, a common payment system is needed to promote trade activities on the continent. He reiterated the need for central banks across the region to be swift in addressing problems confronting cross-border payment systems.
Indeed, given the right policies, Africa's collective efforts at integrating existing national payment systems could enable African firms to innovate, invest, and create job opportunities. Together with digitalization, an integrated payment system would help Africa foster convergence of institutional frameworks and create a more effective regional financing ecosystem. Additionally, an integrated payment and settlement system would promote efficiency in regional trade by facilitating the smooth flow of payments, underpinning economic activity, and fostering transparency and efficiency in intra-African trade.
Associate Professor at the Economics Department of the University of Ghana, Professor Ayitey, called for a collaboration to improve transport corridors within the continent to promote efficient production.
A cross-border infrastructure is any infrastructure that connects two or more countries, as well as national infrastructure that has significant cross-border impacts, such as ports, railways, roads, and airports. Cross-border infrastructure provides economies with greater access to regional and global markets. There is a need for countries within the sub-region to cooperate to improve transport corridors within the continent so that they can take up the opportunities to join regional production networks and supply chains. Because when we're able to connect our firms and businesses to regional production network and supply chains, it promotes efficient production, trade competitiveness, and increases trade flows. It will therefore enable sub-Saharan African countries to narrow their development gap with their richer trading partners.
The African Continental Free Trade Area is an ambitious trade pact to form the world's largest free trade area by connecting almost 1.3 billion people across 54 African countries.
Now, Ghana's structural transformation path has been described as irrelevant without investment in the country's manufacturing sector. According to senior lecturer at the Department of Economics at the University of Ghana, Dr. Priscilla Chumesi-Bafo, an improved manufacturing sector will serve as a bedrock to other sectors and strengthen Ghana's trade competitiveness in the context of the single African market. She was speaking at the World Bank launch of Ghana Trade and Competitiveness Report.
Focus on the exportation of gold, cocoa, and petroleum products, Ghana is entreated to diversify its exportation of goods. Such move, according to Dr. Priscilla Chumesi-Bafo, senior lecturer at the Economics Department of the University of Ghana, will give Ghana access to a larger market to compete under the African Continental Free Trade Area. She further explained the need to support local industries to embark on import substitution industrialization.
I believe that the report is very important and the timing is great. When you look at what the presentation they made, you see that Ghana is doing well in terms of exports, but what goes into the export basket is the problem. And so diversification is very low. Our export is basically dominated by fuel products, gold and cocoa. And so when you look at, for example, even adding value to the cocoa that we produce, there's not a lot that is happening, and the data show that Cote d'Ivoire is certainly doing much better. So Ghana needs to concentrate on, for example, light manufacturing, agro-processing, and when we do that, consistently, as we open up to the Africa Continental Free Trade Area, it gives us the opportunity to larger markets, and then firms can take advantage of, so that we improve on the blend of things that are in the basket and also the sophistication of the things that are produced as well.
Setchuma Kobwa, the Chief Executive Officer of the Association of Ghana Industries, called for the strengthening of various value chains in the manufacturing sector in order to grow the sector. He refuted claims that trade liberalization is the bane to the country's trading regime.
Unfortunately, performance manufacturing, as we've said, is also not been that good. If you look at the last 10 years, and even the study is demonstrating that, our growth rate in manufacturing has been averaging about 4%. In terms of contribution to GDP, when we look at industry, we could be saying about 30%. But industry is even driven by the extractives as well. But the contribution of manufacturing is averaging about 11%. Clearly, we are not growing manufacturing that good. So we are not performing. Now, in terms of policies, trade liberalization, I don't think our issue has been with the fact that we have liberalized our system. It is the unfairness in it that we always complain about. Unfairness in it in the sense that whilst you are opening up for imports to come in, access to other markets are not that good. There's a bit of restriction on access to other markets. That's why you have this imbalance of large imports coming in and less export going out.
Over the years, there had been calls for diversification of the economy to create jobs and also avoid balance of payment deficits in the country.
Now, the E-Commerce Association of Ghana wants governments to consider the negative impact of the 1.5% e-levy on their activities. According to the association, the levy has increased the cost of doing business among its members, pushing operators in the e-commerce sector to consider relocating to other West African countries where taxes is favorable. Here's more in this report.
Calling for more collaboration between government and stakeholders in the e-commerce sector, the association decried the Ministry of Finance's decision not to contact businesses affected by the e-levy before it was implemented. Speaking to Joy Business on the sidelines of Jumia at 10th anniversary, the executive director of the E-Commerce Association of Ghana, Paul Asino, appealed to government to engage members in the sector before reviewing the impact of e-levy in the mid-year budget presentation.
We should look at the impact on online businesses. We should look at it in terms of the employment avenues that are being removed from the system, because people are no longer sending money across as they used to. The Bank of Ghana has testified to it. So where are all these unemployed youth going? So yes, it's been passed, but I don't think we can just go and lie in peace thinking that that is how it's going to be. It can increase. What about that?
Meanwhile, the Chief Executive Officer of Jumia Ghana, Tolulope George Yanwa, said her outfit has achieved a lot in 10 years in the e-commerce space in Ghana.
Jumia 10 has been 10 years of an amazing journey, 10 years in Ghana. The aim of Jumia is to improve the quality of the everyday living in Ghana by leveraging on technology, right? And that's what we have been doing for the past 10 years. And have we been doing that through innovation and creating services that are of interest to people. And our services include the marketplace for consumer goods. We have an online platform as well for food and restaurants. And as well as a payment service, right? We also aim to help small businesses grow. And when we speak in terms of small businesses, as we have said, when we started 10 years ago, we had less than 100 vendors on our platform who were interested in working with us. And now we have grown that number to thousands of vendors on the platform who sees this as an opportunity to grow their business and access over thousands or millions of consumers that visit our websites every day.
The number of jobs advertised in selected print and online media, which partially gauges labor demand in the economy, decreased marginally in April this year compared to the same period last year. Of course, according to the Bank of Ghana's latest monetary policy report, as you can see on your screen, over 2,700 job adverts were recorded as compared to 2,806 for the same period in 2021. Now, this indicates a marginal decline of 1% year-on-year. On a month-on-month basis, the number of job vacancies in April this year dipped by 3.6% from the 2,882 jobs advertised in March this year. Cumulatively, 11,000 advertised jobs were recorded for the first 4 months of 2022, compared with a little above 11,600 jobs advertised during the same period in 2021. Meanwhile, Business Development Coordinator with Human Resources Advisory Firm Aldelia Ghana, Blackson Bedu Buampon, is entreating prospective job seekers to acquire some soft skills and be smart in their dealings with employers.
I would say is that currently companies are looking for people that can multitask. So as a job seeker, even if as you are not working now, you need to pick up some personal soft skills trainings, because we have a lot of free trainings on LinkedIn, on other platforms. So you pick it and you make yourself versatile. Don't make yourself like a one-sided person. I'm only administrative and I can't do anything else. So they need to open their scope of activities. They need to be versatile. And also, when they are going for job interviews, we all know that, we need a lot of money, we need a lot of salary to be able to cope with the current inflation rate. But we believe that the inflation rate will get better. So there should be a little bit minimal on their salary expectation. Get your legs into the company, and I'm sure that if the company see
some job advice there for prospective job seekers. And then Prime Business with me, Charles Ayitey. But I will leave you with a summary of international business news, after which Oreko Ampofo comes your way with Prime Sports. To stay.